Governor, have you reached out to Derrick Smith to tell him to resign, or what do you think of that?
Well, I was out of town. I just got back in town yesterday. I really feel that Representative Smith would do himself a favor by taking the advice of Secretary of State Jesse White and many, many others and resigning. There is a procedure. It's part of our Illinois Constitution. I believe it's beginning its process now, where members of the House he serves in, the House of Representatives, will begin to take testimony and hear evidence about whether or not he should be expelled. And that is a procedure that exists in the Illinois Constitution. It's similar to the process of impeachment and removal for executive officials. If you're subject to expulsion, it takes 2/3 of the members of the House to do that. And if he doesn't resign, I think Representative Smith should be aware that he may indeed be expelled.
On the 15th, you said he shouldn't be judged until the jury can look at the case. What has changed that makes you now say he should resign?
The process of expulsion is similar to impeachment and removal. My predecessor was not tried in a court, but nonetheless the members of the House impeached him and the Senate voted unanimously to remove him. That's more of a political process, a judgment process. That's separate and distinct from our legal system.
But on the 15th, you did not call for him to resign. Now you are. What's the difference?
Well, I think he should resign. I think many others agree with me that he should resign, and I think that would be the best course for him to follow.
Governor, it's basically a question of allowing the voters to vote him in so that he can be replaced. Correct? I mean, are you buying into that process?
The voters have a right in each district to vote their conscience and vote how they feel the democracy should take place in their district. So that has now taken place last week. The process of democracy also works in the Illinois House of Representatives, and I think it'll take place without delay.
Why wait until after the election to ask him to step down?
Well, I think Representative Smith would do himself a favor by resigning.
Were you worried that Mr. Smith was really a Republican?
Well, I don't think there's any question that his opponent in the election was a Republican.
Are you going to talk to Colton about legislative scholarships? That's something that he kind of stands in the way.
Well, I have in the past. I will again. I really feel that it's time for the Illinois Senate to step up and do what I've urged for 2 years in a row through the process of a mandatory veto, that the whole political scholarship program of the legislature be abolished, especially in these times of austerity, where we saw last week the money that we have for needy college students, our monetary assistance program for needy students, all that money has been exhausted at the earliest time in, I think, Illinois history. So where we really need to have the resources put is into those who are needy and deserving. They may not have political connections, but those are the students we should focus on. And so I really think the Senate should vote to abolish the program. I hope the Senate President calls that bill that passed the House. It has in the past, I believe, passed the House. It's time for the Senate to act.
Full Senate vote is what you're asking for, right now.
I really think so. I think that would be the best way to take that issue, resolve it, and move on. We have so many other issues to work on in Illinois this year that are important to the public, but this one clearly, I think the legislators have realized the public is very impatient with the way that political scholarship program of the legislature has been handled.
If they give you anything less than abolishment, will you AV again?
No, I've several times in a veto message said it should be abolished.
What, do you think then that it should not be buried in committee, or are you going to urge Cullerton not to bury it in committee?
I think Senator Kotowski is the sponsor of the identical bill that passed the House. Senator Kotowski is a very good leader. He led the effort to get budgeting for results in Illinois. That means making sure that we invest our budget money of the people of Illinois in things that really have good outcomes. And clearly it is not helping higher education, I feel, to have a political scholarship program. Scholarships should be based on need and only for deserving students who are qualified to be admitted. And when we deviate from that, I think we're missing the boat.